It had been misplaced, accidentally slid between financial reports, merger proposals, and legal contracts worth more money than most towns would see in a lifetime. Yet the handwriting stood out immediately. Uneven, childish, carefully messy, as if the writer had erased and rewritten every sentence until the paper was almost worn through. Ethan almost put it aside. Almost. But then his eyes caught the first line. "Dear Santa, I don't want toys this year." Ethan Caldwell, billionaire CEO, philanthropist on paper and ghost in his own life, froze. Something in his chest tightened, an unfamiliar sensation he had long forgotten how to name. He leaned back in his chair, the top floor of a glass tower overlooking Manhattan. Snow fell outside, soft and quiet, refusing to care about stock markets or lonely men with too much money and too little heart. He kept reading. 6-year-old Lily Thompson wrote her letter in the dim light of a flickering kitchen bulb, her feet swinging above the floor because the chair was too tall. Her mom, Sarah, was asleep on the couch behind her, still wearing her hospital scrubs. A double shift. Again. Lily paused, chewing the end of her pencil. She had tried writing this letter 3 times already. The first time she asked for a bicycle. The second time she asked for a puppy. But both times, she ripped the paper up, because those weren't the things that made her chest hurt at night. This time, she decided to be honest. "I know you are very busy," Lily wrote slowly, sounding out each word, "so I don't want a lot. My mom cries when she thinks I'm asleep. I pretend I don't hear it, but I do." Her pencil hovered. "I think she misses my dad. I don't really remember him because he went to heaven when I was little, but I think he was nice. My mom says he had a kind laugh." Lily swallowed. "Santa, if you can't bring my dad back, could you maybe send me a new one? I promise I will share. I just want someone to read me stories at night and make my mom smile again." She added one last line, carefully. "Thank you. Love, Lily." She folded the letter neatly, placed it in an envelope, and wrote Santa Claus in big crooked letters. Then she crept over and kissed her mother's forehead before whispering, "I hope this works." Ethan didn't realize his vision was blurring until a drop landed on the paper. He touched his face in confusion. He hadn't cried in years. Not at his parents' funerals. Not at his divorce. Not when he stood alone in mansions too big to feel warm. But this letter, this painfully simple plea, cut through every wall he had built. He cleared his throat, angry at himself. "This is ridiculous," he muttered. But he didn't fold the letter back up. Instead, he read it again. And again. For Ethan Caldwell, Christmas had always been a season of transactions. Donations announced in press releases. Galas attended with practiced smiles. He gave millions away every year, yet nothing ever touched him. This was different. This was not asking for money. This was asking for humanity. The letter had arrived through Ethan's charitable foundation. Somewhere along the way, it had been misrouted, misfiled, ignored, until it landed on his desk by accident. Or fate. Ethan closed his eyes and saw himself at 6 years old, sitting on the grand staircase of his childhood home, waiting. Waiting for a father who was always in a meeting. Waiting for a mother who spoke to him through assistants and schedules. No one had written letters for him back then. He'd grown up believing loneliness was normal. That love was optional. That success would fill the gaps. It hadn't. Something shifted inside him, heavy and terrifying and warm all at once. By the time his assistant knocked on the door, Ethan was still holding the letter like it might disappear. "Cancel my evening," Ethan said quietly. "Sir. All of it. Sarah Thompson woke up every morning with the same fear pressing on her chest. What if I can't keep this together? Bills stacked on the counter. A broken heater. A child who asked too many questions about bedtime stories with dads in them. She tried her best. She worked hard. And still, some nights, exhaustion won. When Lily handed her the Santa letter to mail, Sarah had smiled and promised, never imagining it would matter. Life didn't work like that. Miracles were for other people. The knock on the apartment door came 3 days before Christmas. Sarah nearly didn't answer. Unexpected knocks usually meant trouble, late notices, complaints, reality showing up uninvited. But Lily ran ahead of her, already tugging the door open. A tall man in a dark coat stood there, snow clinging to his shoulders. He looked out of place, too composed for their worn hallway, too quiet for such a small space. "Hello," he said gently, crouching to Lily's height. "Is this, Lily?" Lily blinked. "Yes." He smiled, a little unsure, like it had been a long time since he'd done it genuinely. "My name is Ethan." Sarah stepped forward. "Can I help you?" Ethan stood. His eyes met hers, and for a moment he seemed to lose all the carefully trained confidence the world knew him for. "I think," he said slowly, "that I received a letter that belongs to me. Or, maybe to Santa." He held it out. Sarah's hand flew to her mouth. Lily's eyes widened. "Did Santa read it?" Ethan swallowed. "He did." Silence filled the space. "I'm not here to replace anyone," Ethan continued quickly. "I would never claim that. But I wondered, if perhaps you and Lily might let me be part of your lives. Just a little. Dinner sometimes. Stories. Help." Sarah shook her head, overwhelmed. "You don't even know us." Ethan nodded. "I know loneliness. And I know what it feels like to grow up unseen. And I know that letter wasn't about wanting a father. It was about wanting love." Lily tugged on her mom's sleeve. "Mom, he has kind eyes." Ethan laughed softly through emotion. The weeks that followed were awkward. Ethan didn't know how to tie shoes. He burned pancakes. He apologized too much. But he showed up. Every time. He read stories in silly voices. Listened when Sarah talked about her fears. Fixed the heater himself instead of sending someone else. And one night, as Lily fell asleep between them on the couch, Sarah realized something terrifying and beautiful. He wasn't saving them. He was healing with them. Ethan had spent his life believing love was something to manage. Now he understood it was something to choose. And be chosen by. On Christmas Eve, Lily handed him a new letter. It read, "Dear Santa, thank you. Please take care of Ethan too. He needed us." Ethan held her close, tears finally free. For the first time, his home wasn't defined by walls or wealth, but by warmth. And sometimes, the greatest gifts don't come wrapped in ribbons. They arrive folded in a child's handwriting. And they change everything.